So probably until 2 years ago, my brain didn't work very well. Like to do the homework or even to produce some videos on my YouTube channels that I had at the time, you know what I mean? Just not very present. I couldn't just focus properly, you know what I mean? I remember like that my family used to call me out a lot of the times because I was like on the moon, like not present. I was just not in the present moment. And I remember as well like quite a good amount of times that I was like in the class and that the teacher was explaining something, but I was just not very there. And then I think there were some times that she was like, oh, okay, this is the exercise we're going to do. I'm like, I didn't understand shit, and I don't even know what's the exercise that I have to do, you know what I mean? Just not very present. So if you relate to this in any way, in this I'm going to help you solve that problem, okay? I created a 3-step plan that if you follow all of this, yeah, you're going to be able to focus to actually get things done, okay? So just before we start, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe, and yeah, let's start the video with basically the first step. So the first step is called dopamine detox extreme mode. So how I understood that this works very well, and yeah, so basically I was already doing this, but there was one time that I go back to not doing this, and then I realized, you know what I mean, that doing this works very well. But yeah, so like probably I think 1 month ago, I was kind of bored, and I had some videos to watch, but I was just like a little bit bored, you know what I mean? So I was like, why don't I go back to like watching anime? So I started watching anime. I want to say like could be like Netflix, any other thing, you know what I mean? Not anime specifically here, but yeah. So basically everything started like 1 month ago. I was bored, okay? I was bored watching some YouTube videos, and I was basically bored, okay? So I thought, okay, what can I watch that can be fun? So I thought, oh, the anime is not that bad, maybe. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm gonna watch some anime. So I found out like a free website, and I'm surprised that there was actually a free website. Yeah, and I found out, and it was high quality. So yeah, then I was like thinking about like the anime that I could watch. Thinking about maybe One Piece, but yeah, I already watched like 1040 episodes, but I was a little bit lazy to find the last episode that I watched. So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna watch One Piece now. Maybe Naruto, maybe watch it again. Nah. So I thought, okay, Bleach. This anime that I already watched 1-2 episodes, but I was a little bit bored and it was not fun the first 1-2 episodes. But everybody talks about it, you get what I mean? It's like one of the most famous animes. So I was like, it's gonna be now. So I started watching, like the first 1-2 episodes was kind of boring, but after a while it became more fun, and then there was like a specific journey that was fucking fun, and then I ended up like watching basically 60 episodes in probably 60 or 70 episodes in like 7, 8, 9 days. And you're probably thinking like, okay, what is wrong about that? But I think I was not watching that. Basically, I was not even in video games. Nothing that was giving me a lot of dopamine. And then because I had that, like first it's like, yeah, it wastes a lot of time. But let me explain what this has to do with focusing, because that's probably what you did not understood. But basically, dopamine detox, basically it means like when you consume a lot of things that give a lot of dopamine, and that I was not consuming, and then I started to consume something that gave me a lot of dopamine. Now things that give less dopamine, like working, was more boring. And if it's more boring, it's more difficult for me to focus. You get what I mean? So, and that was a problem, you get what I mean? And I was like, I was spending like 3-4 hours every single day, you get what I mean? It was just not beneficial. You get what I mean? So then after like, I think 9 days, I decided to like, yeah, let's stop, you get what I mean? I already knew that, but I was just reminding again that it was not beneficial to me, okay? Okay, so I understood that it could be beneficial, doing this dopamine extreme mode, blah, blah, blah. You didn't understand, probably not 100%, but you understand, okay, you understood that thing that I said, like, oh, if you consume a lot of things that give a lot of dopamine, when you consume something that gives less dopamine, like working, it's more boring and it's more difficult for you to focus just because it's just extremely more boring. Okay? This is like imagine if you're used to eating 5,000 calories and now you start eating 4,000 calories. The first time is kind of difficult, you're not used to it, but after a while, you're used to it, you get what I mean? But if you're used to eating 5,000 calories and then there's one day to just eat 2,000 calories, it's terrible. But if you're always used to eating like just 2,000, 2,500 calories, you still feel pretty good. That's like the same thing here, you got what I mean? It's like explain this in a different way so you can understand what I mean, okay? So this is basically how it works. Dopamine detox, not consuming things that give a lot of dopamine, and this is basically what is going to happen. You're just like find more fun things that give you less dopamine, like doing the work, okay? Because that's the reason why you want to focus more, is to like do the work and not distract yourself, basically. Okay, what's the action step here? The action step, like I said, it was dopamine detox extreme mode. So this is extreme. That's why it works very well. Okay, so you're going to, even right now, grab a paper that you have, pick up a paper that you have, whatever, I don't know where you have it, or you can use whatever place that you can write down. So you're going to write down 3 habits. I'm not saying like, no, basically, I'm not saying like just you have to quit it once. I'm saying that basically it's 3 habits that I recommend you, basically 3 habits for you to quit in the next 6 months, okay? So you think about 3 habits that you know that are not beneficial to you and that give you a lot of dopamine. Basically, you're wasting your time, not beneficial to you, and gives you a lot of dopamine. Find 3 things like that, because you probably have, unless you're already like a lot of on this dopamine detox extreme mode. If you're not on this, you still have like some 3 things that give a lot of dopamine that aren't beneficial to you. So okay, you know what are those things, okay? It could be all the bad habits, it could be adult content, what more? It could be video games, Netflix, jerking off, listening to like listening to music is good, but that's not like because I still listen to music. But what could be more? Junk food, for example. Yeah, junk food, like food gives you still dopamine, so maybe. But yeah, of course, it's good to quit junk food, but especially things that just give you that extra dopamine that you don't have in your life, okay? Because food, whether you eat the healthy or unhealthy, you always have the dopamine from the food. But there's some things that you shouldn't have dopamine from unless are beneficial to you. You know what I mean? And so you know those things, okay? So just found that out. For example, another example is entertaining content on YouTube. It's like Mr. Beast. You know what I mean? I like his videos, but are not really beneficial to you, especially because if you're watching this video, you want to improve your life, okay? Basically here on my channel, you want to be more productive. That basically means achieve things, more goals, make more progress, improve your life, basically. It's all correlated with improving your life. So watching, entertain the type of content, it has a lot of editing, fucks up like your attention span and blah, blah, blah. Gives a lot of dopamine. It's as well a bad habit, and it's not really beneficial to you. You're gonna learn something from that, or basically you're not gonna be inspired by that for sure. At least I think so. And especially it's not gonna fucked up. It just gives you a lot of dopamine, and it's not educational. It doesn't have to be educational all the times, but if it's entertaining and educational, that's the best case scenario. And for me, the things that I watch, it's not like educational, but it's boring. It's actually fun, but it's I like to watch this or podcast, for example, Joe Rogan, good example, Chris Williamson. I watch like Hamza Hamad that has like some more unfiltered videos on I think his second channel now. And then he has even another, like he shows like kind of him training, which is entertaining, but it like doesn't have like super a lot of editing. You're gonna basically have no editing almost, basically. So yeah, find out 3 things, and in the next 6 months, quit those 3 things, okay? Write it down, and yeah, be honest with yourself. I'd be like, yeah, I really want to get better results. I gotta do this. I gotta be that's why I called, because most people talk about dopamine detox. That's why I called dopamine detox extreme mode, because it's not like what everybody just told you a lot of the times. I think maybe I'm wrong, but a lot of the times I just see people just do dopamine detox for 24 hours. Okay, it gives you some benefit, but after a while, if you just get back to consume a lot of dopamine, there was no benefit afterwards. You're still in the same spot. You understand? So find out these 3 things and quit them in the next 6 months. Okay, I don't expect you to quit them so fast. That's why I said in the next 6 months. But if you do this, it's going to help you a lot, and as well to not waste time. But that's just a side point. But yeah, so yeah, find out these 3 things and quit them so that you can like just find simple things more fun, so that it's more easier for you to be able to focus because it's not extremely boring. You get what I mean? Step 2, sharper mind. Okay, so here I'm just going to talk about like some 3 things that just help you to have like a sharper mind that helps you to focus. Okay, so the first thing, it's doing those things that you gotta focus at morning. Because for me, from my experience, at least for me, always when I'm going to do something that requires me a lot of focus and all of that, at afternoon, it's just my brain just doesn't work very well. I'm just like kind of tired. It's like I can say this. It's like I'm lazy at that time. I think there was actually sometimes that I had like some homework to do or something like that. I don't know if this was exactly like this, but I think, and I was going to do it with my mother, but no, basically I was doing it with my mother, but my brain didn't work very well. I'm just super lazy, super tired, and even though I shouldn't be tired, you get what I mean? Just like it didn't work very well, and then I'm just like can't do that, and then my mom is angry at me, something like that. You get what I mean? I probably had sometimes like that. You get what I mean? Probably because of that. You get what I mean? If it was at morning, better. And again, when it was at morning, it was actually better because I remember sometimes that was when it was at morning. Sometimes at morning that was actually better. You know what I mean? So yeah, this you probably relate with this. So what I mean with this is basically those things that really require a lot of your focus. For example, on your work. For example, I have some specific 3 main tasks that require a lot of my attention, especially 2 of them, which is making scripts and recording videos. For example, right now, I'm not going to do this like at 3 p.m. No, I'm going to do it morning, the first hours of my day. Because just my mind works better, you get what I mean? And as well, we humans have more energy at morning, and afternoon drops a little bit down, and drops down, and a little bit at night increases a little bit, but then drops down and then increases more at morning. But like at morning and then afternoon, like crashes a little bit, maybe like this, and then it crashes and blah blah blah. You understand what I mean? So basically, if you do things at morning, this is the action step. Okay, just find out a specific type of task. This is very important. It requires a lot of focus, and try to do that like first in the morning, or like in the first hours of the morning, because that just helps you a lot, so that you just like your mind is not just tired. You're like, I'm tired, bro. If you're like me, and if you relate with what I told you in the beginning, your brain doesn't work very well. You agree with this, bro. It doesn't work very well. Okay, the second thing is fasting. So I remember like one time I was thinking about like, I don't know, like eating more calories, tracking calories, 1,000 calories, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to, so that I can have like 4,000 calories, whatever. I'm going to eat like 1,000 calories of rice in the morning, which doesn't even make sense, but yeah. So I ate that 1,000 calories in the morning, that rice. And afterwards I regretted so much. Just because my brain, I was just like kind of had some brain fog. My brain was not working very well. So I was just like, why did I eat this? So the action step here is for when you're like basically doing some work that requires a lot of focus. Don't wait a lot, especially don't wait a lot. But why do you have to wait apart from like drinking something, especially like water and drinking some coffee? Why do you have like to eat? You get what I mean? Just to the work. Right now I'm doing the work hungry. Way better. No food on my stomach, just my mind is sharper. Don't have like that fatigue from eating food. You get what I mean? So, yeah, a lot of times it comes from like eating a lot of food, you get what I mean? But sometimes it's going to come from, the reason could be as well like that the food is just like not that good. That's something I'm going to talk about further. Okay, but yeah, I just recommend you to like just do the thing that really requires your focus. Just don't wait before you do that. Just okay afterwards. Okay, but before, just don't eat that. So that's your action step, okay? Just don't eat before, eat afterwards, basically. So there was one day, this was probably like 1 week ago or something like that. At that afternoon I was like feeling a lot of brain fog, and then the next day I decided to not eat no carbs, and then in the afternoon what happened, I just felt like, oh yeah, I'm not feeling that much of brain fog, you get what I mean? But it's actually, I remember that actually not in the day beforewards that I ate, when I was eating dinner, I just ate meat, and then my brain was working and I didn't have that brain fog that I was feeling before. So basically, this is not just me saying, there's actually people saying, already talking about this. There's some people, that's probably is you if you relate what I told you in the beginning. There's some people that they're more sensitive to carbohydrates. So when they consume them, what happens, they get some brain fog. Okay? And they maybe sometimes people think that they think that they have ADHD. It's like you're just like that kind of person that maybe doesn't have actually 100% ADHD, but you're just like kind of not present as I was. It's kind of, you can't focus really well. You're just more lazy naturally. You get what I mean? And that's who I was. And it was just like so much hard for me to focus, for me to just like do hard things, just because my brain didn't work very well. And yeah, this is basically the reason, okay? It's like the carbohydrates. So the action tip here is for you to basically, just to let you know first, sugar includes to this as well, because carbohydrates has kind of sugar as well. Not like the healthy sugar, but sugar as well, it's a problem. But yeah. So your action step here is I can't do this 100% the way I want to, because I'm still not on my own house. Basically, I'm on my parents' house, so I cannot control 100%. It's raining a lot. I can't control this 100%, but if you can, good for you. Okay. So basically, I recommend you just get on the keto diet for 3 days. Okay. So what's the keto diet? Keto diet is basically vegetables, fruits, fats, and proteins. Basically, no carbohydrates, no sugar, and no junk food and processed foods, of course. So you go on that diet for like 3 days, and why 3 days? Because sometimes if you're more sensitive, sometimes it takes like 1, 2, 3 days so that you stop having that, stop feeling that brain fog from the carbohydrates that you just ate like 2 days ago. So I recommend you to go on the keto diet for 3 days. Okay, I'm not someone like created this method. I learned from some people that really know this. But so just go on the keto diet for 3 days. You're going to get on the keto diet, and especially if you're more sensitive, you're going to notice the difference. If you don't feel basically the difference, then you're not sensitive. But if you feel kind of different, you just feel like, yeah, I feel my mind is sharper. I don't feel like that much tired after eating lunch. If you feel that way, it's because it is the carbohydrates and the sugar that is doing this to you. Okay. So okay, what do you do now? Just you stay on the keto diet? No, there's actually a way that you can still eat some carbohydrates. How do you do this? Basically, the way you have to do this is to try one by one every carbohydrate, because you're going to notice, especially more the healthy ones, you get less brain fog. So I found out that the pasta gives a lot of brain fog. And I thought like, okay, rice doesn't give that much brain fog. But I found that actually rice still gives me kind of a lot of brain fog. Not super, but kind of a good amount of brain fog that I didn't want to have. But now I switched to integral rice, and I still feel some brain fog, but I feel better. You get what I mean? So that's what I recommend to you. Try all the carbohydrates that you used to eat before, and try one by one. And then you're going to notice straight away if you feel a lot of brain fog from that on or not. Okay? Especially you do this at afternoon, you get what I mean? Because maybe you think, but you said that at afternoon everybody feels more tired. But I've experienced already. I feel way less tired when I'm doing carbohydrates, even though I naturally we feel more tired afternoon. Okay, so it's completely true. You get what I mean? But Don't keep that for 3 days. Try it one by one, and then those carbohydrates that you just feel, that you give a lot of dopamine. I think the carbohydrate that give the most brain fog, I think, is pasta and white bread, because they're just the most unhealthy ones. Especially the white bread, it's like more the perfect one. That's kind of has a lot of chemicals and shit. You get what I mean? It's not even some natural thing. Those things are definitely, as fast as I already experienced that, like, gives a lot of the brain fog. You get what I mean? So just try one by one, and then you're going to find out what it gives you the most brain fog. You get what I mean? Because if it doesn't give you that much brain fog, if you want to still keep eating carbohydrates, it's not gonna like be the worst thing in the world. You get what I mean? The only problem here, this is just a side point, but if you're kind of sensitive to carbohydrates, even fruits give you some brain fog. So you maybe want to be aware of that. But don't think about that right now. Just think about like the carbohydrates, okay? So yeah, afterwards, like, your mind just works way better. The focus is way better. When you're reading the first sentence of a book, you can remember the first sentence when you're reading already the second sentence. You get what I mean? So it helps you a lot. So this is probably one of the best advice out there to help you focus, especially for the people that just struggle more to focus. They just struggle more. You get what I mean? There's some people that don't struggle that much. You get what I mean? I used to be someone that struggled a lot. You get what I mean? So this is going to help. These 3 techniques, whatever tips, are going to help a lot. So take action on all of these things, okay? Step 3, flow state. So I usually get into the flow state most of the time. So basically I wake up 4:30 a.m. and then I prepare some things, blah, 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 blah. And then when I start my work, so there's sometimes that this is something I'm going to explain further, but usually I get into a flow state. So what it means to get into a flow state is that I just very focused on what I'm doing. I have zero thoughts about the other things, or at least not a lot of thoughts. I just feel like the work that I'm doing is just more fun. It's more easy to do. In the beginning, it's not, but afterwards, it feels more easier and fun. And I can just grind that for like hours. Boom, 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 boom. You get what I mean? Without like breaks. I kind of end up having breaks because I go to the bathroom. So yeah, this is how I feel. This is how it's to be in the flow state. Okay, this is how I feel when I'm in the flow state. You get what I mean? That's the benefits of being in a flow state. You get what I mean? It's just way better for you to focus. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some examples of what is to be in the flow state. If you still didn't understand exactly what did I mean with being in the flow state, maybe you're like still like, okay, you were just focusing, but what flow state? What the fuck is that exactly? You get what I mean? So you already have been in the flow state sometimes. There's some specific moments that you're always, at least most of the times, into a flow state, okay? So I wrote down some examples here, okay? When you're playing video games, especially, I remember Fortnite, you get what I mean? Because you're fighting, Minecraft probably not, because a lot of times you're not in danger, but Fortnite, you get what I mean? You're like in a match with 100 people, and especially if you're like, it's you and more 5 guys, or just you and more 1 guy. You're in a flow state. You're not thinking about like, oh, what I'm going to eat at lunch today. Oh, what I'm blah, blah, blah. Oh, that day that I fell in school and everybody laugh at me. You get what I mean? Laugh at me. You get what I mean? You were extremely focused on that. You were just like, boom, boom, like you were in a flow state. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Another example here is like when you're playing football, like playing football with your friends, like, or especially when you're in a game, a specific game, no, like basically when you're in a game, bro, especially a game which is competition, bro, you're in a fucking flow state. You're just in a flow state. Well, imagine like maybe you haven't been in some like competition, football competition, but you probably already have played football, a game. You got what I mean? Seriously, you got what I mean? That was like not competition, but you got what I mean? You were in the flow state. You were not like thinking about, oh, this thing, yeah. You're just fucking very focused. You got what I mean? And it felt fun. It felt like you felt like adrenaline. It was just like a fun moment. You got what I mean? Another example. This is probably most of you haven't experienced, but martial arts as well. Especially the martial arts that one of the biggest reasons why martial arts helps you a lot. the reason why you get into a flow state very easily and quickly, it's because it involves hurting. You get what I mean? Because if you're not in flow state, if you're not focused, basically, you're gonna get hurt, and you don't want to get hurt. So you're very focused. You're in the flow state very quickly, very easily. You get what I mean? So yeah, this is just some examples so that you can understand what's to be in a flow state. So you already have experience at least playing video games, or for example, like playing football in a game. You already experienced this, so you can say, okay, this is what is to be in a flow state. But the thing is, you probably haven't done that yet, or you haven't controlled. You can't do that always when you're like doing the work, but there's a way to do that basically always. Okay, so yeah. Okay, first let me explain how do you get into the flow state. Okay, to get into the flow state, you just have to focus a lot. You get what I mean? For an example, for the people that are working, okay, I have my laptop here. If I'm trying to get into a flow state, I'm not going to be like, yeah, some water, yeah, absolutely, you get what I mean? Yeah, I'm doing my work. No. You have to just like be like this. You know what I mean? It's like you just have to be extremely focused on the thing that you're doing. You know what I mean? But you just can't be like, oh, looking at the things. You have to be extremely focused, okay? And the second thing you have to understand is that you're not gonna get into a flow state straight away. It just depends if you're really focused or not. But it can take, I think, from what I heard and from what I experienced, like 2 minutes to 5 to 10 minutes, okay? But usually, like, I think 3 minutes, you can get into a flow state, okay? So yeah, this is how do you get into a flow state. It's extremely simple. You just have to be focused, and especially if you have some music, you listen to some music, especially without lyrics, like some lo-fi, that helps you. Because like if it has lyrics, it just distracts you. You're thinking about something else. It's like actually a side point, something that I didn't put in the script today, but it helps us out to focus. But even with the music that has lyrics, you still can focus. But it helps you to not listen to music with lyrics, because they talk about things. There's desires out there. You get what I mean? There's like they talk about things that maybe you're thinking about those things. You get what I mean? But yeah, so especially if you don't have it, it helps you to not get into. It helps you to get into a flow state. You get what I mean? And you have those things to help you to not get into a flow state, basically. So this is how you get into a flow state. Okay, so the action step here is basically every time you're going to do that specific work at morning without eating, just eating afterwards, you're just gonna focus a lot, and you're going to get the flow state, and maybe like, especially for the beginning, for just 60 to 90 minutes, you're capable of getting into a flow state. To get to a flow state again, you just have like to have a break. And for you to know if you stopped being in the flow state, it's basically when you start getting a lot of thoughts again. Okay, just something I want to explain to you here is that for you to be able to get into a flow state, you have to, because maybe in the beginning when you're focusing something, okay, you're not looking at another things, but you could still be distracting yourself in your mind. What this means is that you're thinking about some things. So what you gotta train to get back to focus again, okay? For you to be able to make progress on this is to never think about those things, is for you to, when you remind and you catch yourself focusing something else, just get focused again, okay? So the way you make progress is to understand, okay, I got distracted, focus again. So do all of that. And today I actually thought that I had couple of desires. It was not desires, it was thoughts on my mind that was just like, a lot of the times there. So I was just like trying to focus again, you get what I mean? And I think that actually didn't help me that much to get into a flow state. Even though I think there was actually some period, at least some tests that I did that I was actually into a flow state, you know what I mean? Sometimes it doesn't happen. You just gotta, basically I think it always happens if you going very hard to not think about those things. But so that was just not helping, because I just had like some strong thoughts on my mind, you get what I mean? So it was extremely difficult, you get what I mean? But usually I can get to a flow state, you get what I mean? And I still got into a flow state, just not the whole period of time as I wanted, you get what I mean? So that's it. I hope I helped you, brother. Yeah, if you take action on everything I've just told you, you're gonna be able to focus. That's just the fucking truth. That's just like the raw reality. This doesn't make sense, but yeah. Skip that part, but yeah. So take action on all this. I hope I helped you, brother, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and bye.